Miss Higgins. Hope you guys had a great weekend and a good Monday off. We're going to jump back into text structures today, but before we do that, I want to remind you guys to do your Boom Learning activity that we gave you guys this morning. Just another deck of cards to get finished. It's going to be a review of chronological order and cause and effect from last week. So make sure to get on and do that. If you didn't do it before the video, make sure to do it after and get that assignment done before the end of today, please. Today's text structure that we're going to go through is compare and contrast. This one's going to be super easy for you guys as we've done it a ton this year already. If you think back to our historical fiction unit when we made those posters for our showcase, you'll remember how much comparing and contrasting we've done. We did it with theme, character, setting, plot. So this one should be pretty simple for you guys to understand. Today's just going to be a reintroduction for compare and contrasting, and then tomorrow I'm going to go a little bit further into it with some more practicing. All right, so short video today. Make sure to get that Boom Learning done. All right, let's jump in. So when we compare and contrast, okay, we know that the author is comparing and contrasting when like they're bouncing back and forth between two subjects, all right? It's really easy for us to tell if they're comparing and contrasting because they'll talk about two or more different things. Now, if an author is talking about one thing and they compare it to another object just once, that's not necessarily a compare and contrast text, all right? You have to make sure that it's a reoccurring thing as you read through whatever text it is or passage it is that you are reading, all right? There is a pattern, which means it's going to talk about how two things are the same, and it's also going to talk about how two things are different, okay? So reminder, the text has to compare and contrast in order to be considered this text structure. It's not compare and contrast if they just mention one other object that it's like or unlike, all right? Okay, so when we compare, there's some things that you need to look for, those keywords, just like we learned with chronological order and cause and effect. When we're comparing, we're telling how two or more things are similar to each other. All right, so those words are going to be things like alike, similar, both, or same as. Okay, pretty easy to find. Both boys are short, or both girls have long hair. Alrighty, they are alike because they are girls. When we're using those keywords, that's how we know that they are comparing. Now, comparing is only telling how the things are alike, alrighty? Contrast means to tell how things are different. So when I'm talking about two or more things and telling you how they are not the same, how they are different from each other, then I'm going to use keywords such as different, unlike, neither, or difference, alrighty? Now, oftentimes when people say, oh, I compared one thing to another, okay, they oftentimes use that as saying that they have told me how they are alike and different. But remember, the word compare only means to tell how things are the same. Alrighty, contrast is the word that you need to tell me that they are different. So comparing and contrasting. Okay, this is when you're organizing the similarities and differences between two or more things when the text is being explored. Alrighty, it has to be doing both to be this text structure. Keep that in mind again. All right, we're going to do a quick little example, and then tomorrow we will do more examples. All right, apples and oranges is something super easy. You guys hear that all the time. It's like comparing apples to oranges. Okay, apples and oranges are both fruits, which means that they have seeds inside of them. Each of them has a skin, but orange skins are thick and easy to peel. Apple skins are thinner and do not peel easily. Oranges also contain more acid than apples, but both fruits are delicious. Alrighty, so I'm seeing some keywords in here. I'm seeing the word both. I'm seeing the word each. Then the word but over here tells me that something is going to be different than another thing. Alrighty, one of them is thinner, one of them is thicker, one of them is easy to peel, and the other one is not easy to peel, okay? And then it says the word than, so one thing is different than another. We know that that's a contrast. And then again, the word both tells us that they are the same. So using those action words, those key words in there, I'm going to figure out how to compare these two fruits, alrighty? And I've compiled a list here already. Hopefully you already thought of some of this list as I went through those keywords, okay? So here are the things I found that compare how these two fruits are the same. Well, they're both fruits. They both have seeds inside of them. They both have skin. okay? But the skin is different. Keep that in mind. So we're just going to say they both have skin and they're both delicious. Now, being delicious is an opinion, alrighty? But since it is supported up here in the text, we can still put it in our comparing list. Personally, I don't like apples. I prefer oranges over all other fruits, okay? Weird, being that I'm a teacher and apples are like a teacher thing. But anyways, so I don't really care for apples. So even though I don't agree with that decision right there, that comparing that we have made, okay, that doesn't mean that I can't put it in the list because it's proven up here in the story. Now, I can't just put oranges are better than apples because there's no proof up in the text. Alrighty, everything you put in your comparing and contrasting lists or diagrams has to be proven in the text. Keep that in mind. All right, let's jump to contrasting. This is the one where you're telling me how things are different. Keep that in mind. All right, to contrast things, we look for words like than or different or things like that. So let's go through this really quickly, okay? Sorry, my kiddo came in. But anyways, contrast. So oranges have more acid, proven in the story. Apples are harder to peel, proven in the story as well. And orange skins are thicker. That is proven as well. Okay? Up here, each one of them is proven. Each of them has a skin. That's how they're the same. But orange skins are thick and easy to peel. Apple skins are thinner and do not peel easily. Okay, that's where I got those two descriptions, those two differences about their skins. And then oranges contain more acid than apples. So that's how oranges are different than apples. Hopefully you caught on to those. This was a pretty simple text for us to compare and contrast. It was really easy. Okay, most of our texts that we're going to be reading this week are going to be this simple. They're going to be talking about two or more things. And all you're going to have to do is, one, be able to recognize that this is the text structure that they're using, and two, be able to do the comparing and contrasting of the objects that are in there and to separate those things. Alrighty. So that's it for today, guys. Like I said, it's going to be really short. We're going to go more into depth tomorrow on our lesson on comparing and contrasting, but just make sure to get those boom cards done and have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow.